We have safely arrived for another week, but just barely. It's a Monday, 29th day of June, 2026. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, and a good Monday to you. Short week for everybody around here. Won't be here Friday. That'll be our day off for Independence Day, which this year, Independence Day is also the 4th of July. It works out just incredibly well that way. We're going to have some cooler than normal temperatures and some pretty breezy conditions for most of the week, and then just in time for the holiday weekend, sunny and warm and mild, but we got to get there first. And the big story this week is the wind. We just can't seem to shake it. It was definitely a cooler than normal weekend. We got the latest on the fires, both the Malaga fire, which is now kind of not really much of a story anymore, but it was for a while yesterday, and the Hamilton fire up in the Winthrop area. We'll have that when we get to news. We like a quiet weekend. It wasn't that wasn't the case around here. A lot of news, a lot of weather. I don't know what to tell you about the Mariners. They just are not playing up to where they should be this time of the year. They had a pretty lousy road trip, and they had one of the worst losses they've had yesterday because they just gave it away. But the Apple Sox win the first half title of the West Coast League's Northern Division. They didn't make it easy on themselves either, but they did it. We'll have that in sports, and the Leavenworth Summer Theater celebrates their 30th anniversary. Of course, they're doing The Sound of Music at that gorgeous campus up there in Leavenworth. Our own Josey Meats went up to the Bavarian Village to talk to the Wagners, John and Susan, who helped get this thing going all these years ago, and also Christy Scheer, who is a part of the creative team. Great interview there. You don't want to miss it if you've never gone up to the hill and the theater there to watch The Sound of Music. It's well worth it, and what a beautiful spot to do it too. That's coming up in the back half of the program. Let's see what we have. First of all, we want to show you the burn scar from the Malaga fire. Basically, that's right smack dab in the middle of your screen. That's the Rock Island camera, so we're shooting across the Columbia towards Malaga, and you can see where the fire was. Everybody hopped on board it. I mean, every fire district around here, all the way from Manson responded, Chelan responded, Antioch, Cashmere, Douglas County across the river, the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department, and the fire districts in that area. They got on that real quick, airdrops, everything. We'll fill you in on what exactly happened with that yesterday with the Malaga fire. Now we're back to the Wenatchee Valley, and there we are. It was only 67. That's all we got to on Saturday. A pretty cool day. I opened up the windows to my house and let it air out. Yesterday we hopped up to 76. We'll be a little bit warmer today, but for the most part, for most of this week, we'll be just slightly below normal for our afternoon high temperatures until we get to the weekend. Let's see what Cashmere looks like. Well, it looks something like this from our Hay Canyon camera. It's going to be a quiet week for a lot of people. We're now into the vacation mode. A lot of people are taking some time off, obviously, with the 3-day holiday weekend coming up. And Monday is traditionally the lightest traffic day of the work week, and that's certainly the case so far. It's pretty quiet around the streets of Wenatchee. It was pretty quiet in our neighborhood because we had power outages all weekend long. It was, well, you take electricity for granted when you don't have it for extended periods of time. And there was the Billy Goat camera. Good morning to you folks up in the Omak, Okanagan, Pateris, Brewster area. Sunrise this morning 5:07, sunset tonight 9:01, 15 hours and 55 minutes. Today will be about 40 seconds shorter than it was yesterday. Let's jump right to the weather forecast from our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee. It's where comfort, care, and community come together. Still under the influence of that trough of low pressure from the Gulf of Alaska. Will eventually leave, but it's going to take its sweet time doing it. We got quite a bit of clouds this morning, as you can see. It'll eventually become sunshine this afternoon. It'll be breezy all day today. The wind will be out of the northwest at about 20 miles an hour, gusts even stronger than that. 82 right at normal for this time of the year. It'll be breezy tonight. It eventually die down a little bit tonight. We'll slip down to 59 for the overnight low. Not a lot of wind on Tuesday. Very pleasant day. 79, and the wind returns on Tuesday night. The gradients are going to tighten up a little bit. We'll see some wind, or feel it anyway. If you see wind, that's a problem. We'll get down to 56. Wednesday, just like Tuesday, not a lot of wind on Wednesday. The wind events will basically be in the evening hours. It'll be windy tonight, windy Tuesday night, breezy Wednesday night, but not so much during the daylight hours. And then we're dispatched with all that nonsense by the time we get to Friday. That is when a ridge will strengthen and move into the area, and that's going to warm us right up to just about perfect for the holiday itself. Number 250 on the birthday calendar for this country, sunshine and 87. I have no complaints about that. And we have the news to get to, and there's a lot of it. And it's 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
"63 degrees right now. The clouds have the upper hand. It'll be sunny once we get to the afternoon hours. Temperature right around normal, right around 82. But it's going to be breezy today and breezy tonight. Pretty calm Tuesday, breezy Tuesday night, pretty calm Wednesday, breezy Wednesday night. Temperatures below normal, but a nice warm up just in time for the holiday weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. A wildfire broke out yesterday afternoon near the 200 block of Alakai Way. That's just west of Malaga. Here's PTZ footage that we shot yesterday afternoon. For a while there, authorities had issued a level 2 evacuation notice in the greater Malaga area. Crews came from everywhere: Leavenworth, Manson, Aniat, Chelan, Kashmir, Chelan County Fire Districts 6, 7, and 9. They showed up. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department showed up. 5 fire districts from Douglas County all responded, so they hopped on it very, very quickly. Now, as of this morning, the area still remains under a level 1 notice. The size and cause of the fire is unknown. As of this morning, the crews are still on hand to look for any hot spots that may pop up, but it was a little nerve-wracking for the folks in Malaga for a couple hours yesterday. And the town of Winthrop was briefly under a level 3 alert yesterday morning after the Hamilton fire broke out just west of town. As of this morning, the fire is estimated at about 100 acres. Authorities report that the forward progression of the fire has been halted. The fire was first toned out at about 9:10 yesterday morning, and wind pushed the flames easterly right towards the town of Winthrop. The level 3 evacuation alert was lowered to a level 2 at about 9:30 last night. West Chewuk Road remains closed, and the Red Cross Evacuation Center in Twisp was also shut down last night. They don't need it anymore. About 250 personnel from various agencies have been deployed after the state authorized a mobilization plan at 7 o'clock last night. Link Transit hosted an open house Thursday night at their headquarters in Old Station to celebrate their latest CEO's retirement after 32 years at Link. Nick Covey became CEO in 2023. Last month, the Link Transit Board of Directors appointed Don Billen as his permanent replacement. Thursday's event also doubled as an opportunity to show board members and the public the brand new bus barn. Construction on the 41,000 square foot bus garage began in 2024, opened in January. The garage can house 56 battery electric buses. The total project cost was $15.6 million, which is about $1.4 million below budget. Guests at the event also contributed to a time capsule. They're going to open that in 30 years in December of 2056. The Washington State Patrol says an intoxicated driver contributed to a single vehicle rollover. This happened Thursday on Highway 97A, just outside of Chelan. It injured 2 people. OMAC motorist Amarito Trevino, 38 years old, traveling south near milepost 237, just before 4 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. That's when her Toyota Payeso veered off the roadway towards the shoulder. Troopers say Trevino then struck a boulder. The car flipped, coming to rest in the southbound lane. Both she and her passenger, 28-year-old Fernando Ricon of Brewster, were taken to Lake Chelan Health for treatment of injuries. No citations have yet to be issued. The State Patrol says the crash is under investigation. The FBI is looking into a series of incidents where arriving planes have been targeted by lasers as they approach McAllister Field in Yakima. The Bureau says the airport has experienced a dramatic increase in laser incidents, 19 reports between January 1st and March 31st of this year. Pilots say they've seen a green laser illuminating their aircraft while landing and flying near the airfield. The FBI says lasers aimed at planes can interfere with landing and also increase the risk of injury to those on board and the public below. Any pilot who's experienced a laser strike in the vicinity of the airport in Yakima is asked to contact the FBI. The International Torch Relay for Peace passed through Walla Walla Point Park on Friday morning on their journey to New York and back. During the run, the team visits schools, youth organizations, and local events. During their trip through the cities, the runners say they offer educational presentations that promote self-esteem and oneness of humanity. We had a chance to speak with the Northwest coordinator to learn more about the run's purpose and how it got organized.
Today in Wenatchee is the Sri Chinmoy Oneness Home Peace Run. And this is a torch relay that is circling the world with a torch and a team of runners. This team here is coming through all of America, honoring the 250th anniversary of America. And we've done this since 1987, every 2 years. And it was inaugurated by a gentleman named Sri Chinmoy, who was a peace advocate, and he felt that through this simple passing of the torch and running with it, putting your heart into it, it was a way to spontaneously bring people together and to go beyond cultural barriers, national barriers. And when you run together or you pass a torch, it kind of breaks those barriers down, brings your smile and your heart forward. So this team here started in April, and there's a team of 14 runners. They're running 4 months from New York City. They'll finish in New York City in mid-August. And they're meeting towns and cities along the way, many schools while schools were open, and bringing that message that, hello, nice to meet you, and here's the peace torch if you'd like to hold it, and we're really happy to be in your town and your city. We usually break this team up into 3 different groups, and they're assigned certain miles a day, starting in a certain milepost and finishing the milepost, until they'll say, for instance, with a team of girls who have 4 in their van, they'll decide how many miles they want to do individually. They'll run those, and the early team of girls will finish early, and then they'll go and start preparing dinner for the team. They'll go to the grocery store, we got an RV, they'll start, and it works like that. It's like a rolling review. It just keeps moving on. And so day to day, we're always in a different place, and it's a lot of fun. And today we'll end up near Cooley Dam, and where we've been to many times, and then Spokane and Sandpoint and along the way. So like that. But no one has to do monster miles. We do between 110, 120 miles a day. And again, I don't think anybody runs more than usually 8 or 10 miles. And if someone's feeling like they need to take some time off, someone else will pick up the slack. But it always works out. And we're not running races, so we're not running at a fast pace, just an easy talking pace. But it does get challenging uphill and in the heat. And so far it's been beautiful.
It is summertime. The holidays, the 4th of July holiday is about here. People are drawn to the water naturally, but rescue workers want boaters to be safe on the area lakes and rivers. Nigel Hunter is a Marine Patrol deputy with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, and he says this year there have already been 2 collisions on Lake Chelan where somebody was struck by a watercraft. Hunter says that's mostly due to user inexperience. Additionally, he says people on non-motorized watercraft like paddleboards are required by state law to have a life jacket and a sound-producing device like a whistle that applies to all paddlecraft, including canoes and kayaks. And of course, this Saturday is the 250th birthday of this country, and we're going to party. Well, most people are anyway. Our very own reporter, Josey Meats, assembled this roundup of upcoming Independence Day happenings all around North Central Washington.
Josey Meats here at Walla Walla Point Park for the NCW Life Channel and Wenatchee World. I'm cooling off in the Columbia, and I'm wondering if you know why there's no knock-knock jokes about America. Because freedom doesn't knock, it rings. And communities across North Central Washington are getting together to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our independence. Here at Walla Walla Point Park will be a 2-day celebration starting on July 3rd with beer, music, and food. And it'll continue the next day, starting off with a car show, beer, music, and more food, a cornhole tournament, and of course, the fireworks show. And a reminder, no dogs allowed in the park. Up in Chelan, Pirates will take over River Walk Park for July 4th and July 5th. And on July 5th will also be the first ever Lake Chelan drone show for 4th of July. Up in Leavenworth, the Upper Valley community will celebrate the 4th of July at the Alpine Lake Elementary School. And out in Grant County, Crescent Bar will host festivities for 4th of July, as well as George Washington will have a day-long celebration with the world's largest cherry pie. Up in Okanagan County, Grand Coulee Dam will host a 3-day celebration in Grand Coulee Dam Park, and Twist will hold its 135th 4th of July parade and food drive. You can read all about that in the Wenatchee World for the Wenatchee World and NCW Life. I'm Josey Meats, and I'm incredibly wet.
Lamest joke I've ever heard, and I've heard some pretty lame jokes. He means well. That's the news here on this Monday. We'll have the news for you, the latest news at 5 o'clock and 5:30 and 6 o'clock and 6:30 and 7. It just runs ad nauseum. Beginning at 5 o'clock tonight, then every half an hour, so you can catch it. If that doesn't work into your schedule, no problem. Thanks to YouTube, specifically our YouTube page. Our evening news will be up there right around 5 o'clock. We'll put a link on our Facebook page, as you can see on the screen there. We're on Apple TV, we're on Roku, we're on Amazon Fire, we're on Peacock, we're on Hulu. We have an email address, news@ncwlife.com. Mariner highlights. Sorry, in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox's 2026 season is off and running.
Swing and a fly ball deep right field. Kainoa Santiago.
The Sox return to Wenatchee at the end of June and beginning of July. The Apple Sox will first face off against Step C for a 2-game series, and then welcome the Edmonton Riverhawks for 4th of July weekend. On July 3rd, Wenatchee will have a post-game fireworks show that you won't want to miss. So spend your summer here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium to create some lasting summer memories. Apple Sox baseball, it's harvest time.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
"20 minutes after the hour, the Guardians scored 5 runs in the 8th inning. They rally. They beat the Mariners 6-5. The Mariners scored 5 runs and still can't win a baseball game. So the loss drops Seattle 1 game below 500, and they're also no longer in first place in the American League West for the first time in over a month.
This ball out of line, right field, base hit. Cal being waved home. Watson's throw home. Play at the plate. Cal is safe. The Mariners take an early 1-0 lead. A 2-out RBI knock from Mitch Garver.
More, please. This is what the Mariners need to do offensively. Mitch Garver not looking to catch the ball out front. He's not going up there just to hit. He understands the assignment.
Ground ball. Naylor has it. Bobble throws home. And now Watson is in a rundown. Watson out. Watson safe.
Yes, Rocchio.
Rocchio out at second, at third base. Meanwhile, on the play, Aria is able to get into third.
That's what you try to do as a catcher. Run them both back when you have 2 runners. So right away, as soon as this happens, Rocchio's job is to get to third, and he does not leave third until Watson gets back safely.
This is down the line, and it's fair into the corner. And it's bobbled a little bit by Watson. Julio's now being waved home. Another play at the plate. Julio slides across, and he's safe. Right on cue, a little bit of slug from the Mariners. Josh Naylor rips a double into the corner. And it's 2-0 M's in the third.
The Mariners have another RBI double by Josh Naylor. Julio scores all the way from first. It's 2-0 Mariners.
On the ground, chopping to short. Rocchio, high throw. Naylor is on his way home. No throw to the plate. He scores standing. A defensive miscue by the Guardians. And the Mariners now lead at 3-0.
100% this is on Naylor. He did this. I was surprised. I mean, he limboed, I think, around this baseball to Rocchio. He made this so much more difficult.
Watson on his way to second. Ground ball. Naylor has it. Emerson covering. Watson taking third. Long throw across. And he's out at third base. Wow. What a throw and play from Emerson Hancock. You don't see that one every day.
No, Khalil Watson was stealing on the pitch. So Josh Naylor's only play was to Emerson at first. And because he was stealing, he never broke stride. He kept going first all the way to third. And pretty impressive velo across the diamond here.
Manzardo will scoop it 8 times and makes the tag on Young for out number 2.
Well, that ultimately was a really good decision by Kyle Manzardo. Was not going to have a play here at second base. Did a great job of playing through that baseball. Puts the ball back in his glove. And the big man got vertical right there. Or horizontal. Whatever way you want to describe it.
There's a little vert.
There was a little vert.
In the air, center field, going back Rodriguez. It's going to work. Tagging up to third is Arias. He'll come home. The other runners hold, and the Guardians get on the board. It's now 3-1. Bazzana with RBI number 25.
Ground ball taking its time. Bazzana, it tumbles. He falls. And how about those couple of free bags from Victor Robles? base. He swipes second, he swipes third, and he scores on a 12-hopper to second base. That's a huge run, and the 4th run for the Mariners.
They've done it. They have broken through the 3-run cap that has been sitting on them.
This is down the line. Is it fair? It has plenty of length, but a foul ball. Yeah, hey, man, that was a good one. Hold that one up proud. 1-2 on Cole Young. Let's see this guy. Yes, now reality is starting to strike. Oh, that's sweet. Way to get it.
Well done.
2-2.
2-2 pitch. Line drive single into center field. Rocchio into third. They're going to wave him home. Here's the throw by Rodriguez. Nowhere close. Rocchio scores. It's 4-2.
There it is.
Base hit center field. Eagle scores. Steven comes home with the tie run. Quan the go-ahead run to third. Chase DeLauder off the injured list. Delivering in the clutch. And we're tied at 4.
Now how big of a difference is it that this young man is back in the heart of this lineup? And I can pretty much guarantee you the Mariners cannot wait to not see him again. This is a 2-seamer right down the middle part of the plate.
Left field, deep, down the line. Fair ball. It's in the corner. Quan scores the go-ahead run. DeLauder's going to be waved home. Here's the throw to the plate. He is out. And the ball came loose. He's safe. He's safe. 6-4 Guardians.
Rhys Hoskins, first of all, couldn't have placed that ball any bit better down the left field line. Gets a sweeper on the outside part of the plate and does a fantastic job of keeping that barrel on the inside part of it. An aggressive send by Rudy Odor there at third base.
Ground ball. Bazana keeps his feet. Low throw, and it gets away. Young scores. Emerson is into third. Robles is into second. Wow, it's a 1-run game.
So the air on Bazana keeps it alive for a moment. Rocchio sets, throws, book it. The Guardians survive. They take the series. 6-5 is the final.
Mariners are back in Seattle. They're probably glad about that. The Angels are in town for a 3-game series starting tonight. It'll be George Kirby pitching first pitch at 6:40. So, for the first time since May 26th, the Mariners are not in first place. The Rangers are. By half a game, they were victorious yesterday over the Blue Jays. It took 10 innings for the Astros to beat the Tigers. The Astros have turned it around. They're just now 1 game back of Texas, and the Angels are 6.5 back after beating the Athletics. All right, in case you missed it on Friday, here's your World Cup action, and it was pretty darn exciting. The 2 teams at the top moved on. France and Norway, they're now in the round of 32, but Iraq is done. Saudi Arabia is back home. Uruguay eliminated. Egypt tied Iran, but Iran saw their quest for the World Cup come to an end. Belgium swamped New Zealand. That was on Friday. On Saturday, the teams eliminated Panama, Uzbekistan, and Jordan. England should be playing better. I won't get into it. I won't editorialize it. They like to pass around a lot, but they don't like to shoot too much. So now we're off to the round of 32, and the first game was yesterday. First match, I should say, in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Team Canada eliminated South Africa 1-0. So from this point forward, you got to win to stay alive. And here's your round of 32 schedule today. They're all on Fox. At 10 a.m., it'll be Brazil taking on Japan. Germany will take on Paraguay at 1:30. The Netherlands will take on Morocco at 6 o'clock, all on Fox. They didn't make it very easy on themselves, but they did it. The Wenatchee Apple Sox won the West Coast League's Northern Division first half title, and they guaranteed themselves home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. They lost to Walla Walla Friday, lost to Walla Walla Saturday, but they swamped the Sweets 13-6. They ended up tied with the same record as the Bellingham Bells, but Wenatchee owned the tiebreaker. They have already won 2 of 3 from Bellingham this year, so because of the tiebreaker, Wenatchee has already guaranteed themselves a slot in the playoffs. That's going to make Coach Darlington feel pretty darn good. And here are the rest of the scores from yesterday, including a doubleheader sweep from Ridgefield over Springfield. But Bellingham is still playing red-hot baseball. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. If you want to commemorate the following holidays, you're more than welcome to. It's National Waffle Iron Day today, National Almond Butter Crunch Day today, International Mud Day. Yes, we have a holiday for mud. But no, today is National Camera Day. So come into focus, folks. That's bad. That's worse than Josey's joke. It is a National Camera Day today. And if there's any one person, George Eastman didn't invent the camera, but he made the camera accessible to everybody. He brought cameras to the masses. He didn't invent the camera, but pretty much he made the camera affordable and better. So we'd like George Eastman. How many photos are taken every year? Nobody knows for sure, but the best guess is about 1 trillion. About 1 trillion photos are taken every year. And of course, the biggest game changer was the advent of the digital camera. The first professional digital camera was expensive. It ran you $13,000 in 1991 money, so I have no idea what it goes for today. And now with today's technology, it has made taking high quality photographs pretty much accessible to everybody. It's everywhere. Everybody, I mean, if you have a phone in your pocket, you got a camera in your pocket. So today is National Camera Day today. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history, the Yankee Clipper does it. On this date, 85 years ago today, June 29th, 1941, doubleheader in Washington against the Senators. Joe DiMaggio ties in the first game and then breaks in the second game the American League record for most consecutive days, most consecutive games getting at least one hit, 41 in a row. He beat George Sisler's record in the opener. He hits a double off of Dutch Leonard. And in the nightcap, Joltin' Joe has a base hit in the 7th inning against Walt Matterson. It's all his in the American League. There's still the all-time record, and we'll get to that in a couple of days. The most significant public works project in this country's history is probably the Erie Canal, but a close second is the interstate highway system, which is 70 years old today. It was on this date, 1956, that President Dwight David Eisenhower signs the Federal Highway Aid Act of 1956. That's the map of the original interstate highway system as it was envisioned. It is pretty much the way it is. If you travel every mile of the interstate highway system, you will travel 46,876 miles. Every state is responsible for their section of the highway, which means they have to enforce the traffic laws. If it falls down, they have to fix it. They have to, basically, you're in charge, each state and the jurisdiction they're in is in charge of that portion of the interstate highway system. The states set the speed limits, but of course, in the early 1970s, during the oil embargo, they set the speed limit at 55 miles an hour. And even though the states have the power to set the speed limits, Nixon told the states, if you don't go with 55, we won't give you any money. And so they all went to 55 miles an hour. I remember those days. The red, white, and blue shields are actually trademarked by the American Association of State Highway Officials. I wonder if they get any money off of that. The longest stretch of the interstate highway system, not surprisingly, I-90, 3,020 miles from Boston to Seattle. The shortest stretch, 1.69 miles. That's the stretch of the interstate highway system in Laredo, Texas. And Fresno, California, population of about 1 million people, is the largest city in this country that is not served by the interstate highway system, which is 70 years old today. Don't take it for granted. The only astronauts, or cosmonauts in this case, to ever actually die in space happened in the state in 1971. Prior to re-entry, the crew capsule of the Soyuz 11 depressurizes. They were about 104 miles above the Earth. When it detached on their capsule to take them back to the Earth, the bolts that were supposed to explode sequentially exploded all at once, and they had no air to breathe. The only human beings to actually die in space on this date 55 years ago today. And they cut a bunch of corners. And when you cut corners in construction, this is going to happen. 501 people are killed on this date in 1995 when the Sampoong department store in the Sisho district in Seoul collapses. It was supposed to be a 4-story apartment building. They turned it into a 5-story department store, and by doing so, they cut a bunch of corners. They had no cross beams to support the weight. They put these ginormous air conditioners on the roof that couldn't handle it. It was just a matter of time. They had only been open for about 5 years. By the way, the people responsible got away with it. 501 people lost their lives because they decided to cut corners. The hubris of man. Birthdays. I met this guy when he was in town to shoot that god-awful movie, Surviving the Game. This was, I think, after he had his motorcycle accident. I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s when Gary Busey was in a motorcycle accident, not wearing his helmet, suffered brain damage. He's a very eclectic individual, but he was fantastic as Buddy Holly in the Buddy Holly story, got an Academy Award nomination. Gary Busey is 82 years old today, and life is good for Colin Jost. He's 44 years old. He's well paid. He's the co-anchor of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and he's married to, well, you know who, Colin Jost, 44 years old today. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor. How's your AC holding up? If it isn't, first call, Alpine Air. Going to take a break. Mike McKnight has got an opinion, and then we went up to Leavenworth. Well, Josey went up to Leavenworth because the 30th anniversary of the Leavenworth Summer Theater is upon us. It's a conversation you don't want to miss. It's coming up. You're watching Mike over Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
A new video game, a movie, dinner with friends. There are a lot of things worth saving up for. Vapes aren't cheap, and buying pods over and over can stop you from affording things you want more. When it comes to your money, choose what matters. Choose you.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm. Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, at the time of the last presidential election, somebody warned me. They said, if you vote for Kamala, gas and grocery prices would go up, housing costs would skyrocket, the country would be divided like never before, and we'd soon be at war with Iran. Well, I voted for Kamala, and yep, all that happened. Yeah. Anyway, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Chelan PUD works hard year-round to reduce fire risk and provide dependable service for our customers. But when extreme fire weather is forecasted, we may resort to a public safety power shutoff. turning off power to a specific area in order to prevent fire. In this rare event, we'll keep you informed before, during, and after the shutoff. To stay prepared and check if you're in a PSPS zone, visit chelanpud.org/PSPS.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
The initial gesture was 1992. I was working summer stock in Montana. I had a friend that I had met working summer stock in Coeur d'Alene years before that was the rare actor that also had a profitable day job. He was a professor of business at Seattle University, and he just did the summer stock for fun. And he came and visited me in Montana, and family was still in Coeur d'Alene. We had 3 children by then. And we were talking after the show that I was in, and I said, you know, it's not really working really well for me to be here in Montana with the family back in Coeur d'Alene. If I really want to keep doing this, I should find a way to rent it myself, you know, but didn't get into the money. He said, well, I'll give you $10,000 to start it, just out of the blue. I was like, okay.
It's a generous donation.
That was a real generous donation. And, so he was a big part of it. He also taught us how to run it as a business because we didn't know anything about that. We knew the theater side, but nothing about, you know, 501c3 or any of that kind of stuff.
So the theater would not be here without Bill Weiss, no doubt. We're so grateful for all of his help and support.
Yeah, and also I had never heard of Leavenworth. We lived in Coeur d'Alene, and he knew Leavenworth from living in Seattle and coming over here for various things. And we looked at several other sites in Idaho, and we looked at Chelan. And while we were in Chelan, Bill said, well, how about Leavenworth? And I'm like, Kansas?
We had never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
And so he convinced me that this was the right place to start. So he's also responsible for us being here instead of someplace else.
Yeah.
So 94 was the first year. We'd actually started doing a lot of stuff in 93, started building the set for Hansel and Gretel in 93 in my backyard in Coeur d'Alene, and then trying to figure out, do we want to move here? Do we want to try to go back and forth between Coeur d'Alene and here? No, that wasn't a good idea. So there's just a whole lot of things in between. And then coming over here, meeting people. There's a community group here called the Amberleaf Theater at the time, met those folks, and just tried to make some local connections, Chamber of Commerce, and I was learning all this on the fly. I had no business background or anything. I was an actor and a piano teacher, and that was about it.
And we had no concept of it being outdoor theater at the beginning. That just wasn't, we were just going to find a place, we were going to start doing shows. We weren't thinking outdoor theater at all.
I think Sound of Music had always been on the table, but I thought we were done. I mean, that first year one night we had 4 people show up, and we did the show for them. And so I just thought didn't work out. It was just a good idea that didn't work. And I said, and Bill still wanted to. I said, "You want to do it?" He had lost $22,000.
Also, 1994 was the year of the big fires.
Yeah.
So that was also a huge factor.
I disagree. Yeah. I mean, we were already having tiny audiences by then.
That's true.
And we were paying people by the show. So we actually lost less money because we closed down for the fires. So, but it did give us a lot of public sympathy having been here. So that counted for something. I thought we were done. And Bill had lost $22,000. I said, I'll pay you back when I can. And he said, let's do it again. I said, I'll lose more money if you want to, but you know. So we knew we couldn't go indoors at the middle school again because it was too hot. I had never done outdoor theater. All my summer stock experience was indoors. So that was a whole nother learning curve with bringing in light poles and electricity and seats and all that stuff. But there was a stage that was made available to us by a local Upper Valley Arts group out at the hatchery. And so that was the only place. So.
And that was the place you did it.
That was the first
From
Sound of Music, just 1 year.
95. No, 95.
Was it 2 years?
95, 96, and 97, we did it at the hatchery.
3 years.
97 was our first year here, but we did Joseph and the Amazing Dreamcoat up here just to test out the site.
Right.
So, 95 we did Sound of Music. It was successful. It was an instant success. I mean, most businesses grow and grow and grow and grow. We went from being a complete disaster to being an overnight sensation. We had great review from Dave Kraft, great review from the Leavenworth paper, and Susan and I walked around the whole town with flyers that said Sound of Music and handed them out door to door to pretty much every house in town. And we had 250 people on opening night and 350 the next night, and that was so far our total of our attendance for our first summer. 600 people was our total for the first summer. And then with word of mouth and the two great reviews in the Leavenworth Echo and the Wenatchee World, it just blew up.
It was 700 by the last performance, and we didn't have reserved seating, so they just kept coming, and we kept running out of chairs, and they'd bring sleeping bags, and so yeah, it was wildly successful.
Yeah. It was a perfect cast and the perfect director. It was just everything. Susan was in the cast. We'll interview in a minute, and just a great
Susan
cast.
Gapsch, wonderful Mother Abbess.
Yeah, great cast, great director, great kids in the cast. Just everything clicked, except the costumer had a nervous breakdown that we didn't know about 3 weeks before the show, and so we had no costumes, and so all the moms of the kids in the cast and stuff kind of pitched in, and it's like a miracle, got it together. So at that time, I was still working. I had a part-time job with the school as a special ed parapro. I spent a lot of my time walking with one particular young man and we got to walk further and further away. And one day we were walking up here and I saw this site. It didn't look like it does now. It was mostly, all these tall trees weren't here. So it had been a former ski bowl that was abandoned because it was a south-facing slope. And so I said, that's a good spot. And I got permission from the Forest Service to give it a shot here in 97. So that's what we did. It was plywood seating and stuff. And after a couple of years, it was successful. So then we applied for a permit to do a permanent amphitheater. And that was another long process with a lot of public input and fundraising and all of that. Yeah.
So we have a group, we've got a committee of past alumni that are joining us for a celebration the weekend of July 30th. So Sound of Music alumni from the past 30 years are coming back to town to have parties and go to the shows. And then we're going to have a night here where they're recognized, which will be really fun as part of the show that night. So it should be a fun weekend. And they have a website you can visit. So I don't remember it. But there's lots to do that weekend, including seeing all three shows. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started with this, I didn't feel like I was old enough to play the Mother Abbess because I was only 32, and now I have reached the age that I am definitely old enough to play this character. But, you know, that's what Henry Haddock, the original director, said that's what costume and makeup is for. This has been like my summer family, and it's just lovely. I have lifelong friends from this experience up here, but it's always fun to have a new challenge with a new Maria and a new set of nuns, and new, whatever the sets changed or the costumes have changed for the kids, or it's just a lot of fun to watch a lot of the college kids come through that are doing theater majors, and then watch them succeed and come through on Broadway tours or be up on the big screen and go, wow, I braided her hair when she was Brigida. So that has just been super fun to watch the progress, and there's always a new challenge for this role. And it's just such a beautiful story. I mean, the storytelling is just phenomenal, and this is the perfect setting for this show. I just think it's a wonderful thing for the children in our area, and we have more that are coming from the Seattle area as well than I think have been in previous seasons. But great for them that love theater to like watch these older kids, and like you might have a dresser, right, that it's a college student, and they have that bonding. And backstage we have activities with the nuns. We have all kinds of bonding activities because we have to make the costume fun, right? So we have nuns night out, we have themes, we do all kinds of fun things in that sense. And then the local people, it just welcoming them into our community. And now, like, there's so many people that are housing these actors, and I mean, they're so busy, these college kids that are in all three shows. I'm like, God bless you, right? I mean, it's just like they are going nonstop, right? They start rehearsal at 10 a.m. and they're done at, I think, 9:45 tonight, right? I'm just like, whew, okay, great. So yeah, I mean, I just think there's just a lot of, I think the people that have been here before welcome people in it, and it's a very wholesome feeling backstage because you have the kids. It's different from other theater, right? Because we have to set an example and make it a good place, because the parents can't be backstage, so they trust us with their kids. And so I think we hold that trust to be very important, right? To give them a great experience.
Well, and I can add a little more too. I think the blending of the super talented local community here. There's something in the water here. Theater is there's more to see than you can see most of the time here. So we have so many local actors and musicians that have participated with us through the years, and then we have the traveling artists coming in too. So that blend is really special for us, working together. And you can't tell who's who up on the stage because the talent is so great and the teamwork is so great. So it's a really cool blend of what's going on here. And 10 of our 12 kids are local this year. The kids in Leavenworth have grown up on this stage. So like you were talking about, like all your Von Trapps over the years. We think we've had probably 450 Von Trapps over the years. Yeah. So just the number of kids, and now they're having children, and the number of marriages that have happened through this theater, and families have been built, and families come for 25 years and bring their kids and their grandkids. So there's just this cool generational arc that's happened here. It's just such a privilege to be part of it. This summer, we've got a great lineup of shows. It's like building a gift basket. I always tell people when I'm putting together a season, choosing the shows where it's a nice balance and there's something for everyone. So, of course, we've got the 30th anniversary of The Sound of Music this summer, and that will open first. So that opens July 3rd, and then we'll run all through the summer. And then a couple of weeks later, we'll open Anything Goes, which is a Cole Porter, jazz age, glitzy classic. It happens on an ocean liner, ridiculously funny, farcical, slamming doors, one of those fun shows. You can bring the whole family. And then we're going to close out our season up here with Bright Star, which is a new show for us. We're really excited about it. It's a bluegrass musical, and the music was written by Steve Martin and Edie Brickell. And yes, that's Steve Martin. And it's just these soaring pieces of music. It's just beautiful. We'll have a live bluegrass band participating with them, and it's just going to be a really, really great summer. Anything Goes opens July 15th at the Fest Hall, and Bright Star will open up here at Ski Hill July 28th. Awesome. I think. double check that.
And where can people find tickets?
You can grab your tickets at leavenworthsummertheater.org.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Vape companies have a history of targeting teens. Now, they've been caught red-handed marketing to minors in Washington state and forced to pay millions in a major lawsuit. When it comes to your health, choose what matters. Choose you. Nicotine in vapes can increase feelings of anxiety and depression. Though quitting isn't always easy, it's a great way to care for your mental health. When you're ready to take control of your well-being, choose the Tomorrow Health app. It's free for Washington teens and proven to work.
And now, from what I've been told when I'm out and about, the highlight of each edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, my live read for Pool to Spa Services. Upgrade relaxation with a Bullfrog Spa from Pool to Spa Services. Bullfrog Spas have the exclusive Jetpack therapy system. Sounds good to me. And what I'm told is it means personalized comfort in every seat, and who doesn't want that? Visit Pool to Spa Services. And I think they'll let you hop into a hot tub. I mean, it makes sense to me if you're going to buy a hot tub. When you go down to Pool to Spa Services, bring a change of clothes and a swimsuit. I don't think they'll mind. Maybe I should go down there and do it myself. It is 64 degrees here in the big city. We had a cooler than normal weekend. Only got to 67 on Saturday and only 76 yesterday. We did have some nice light rain in the overnight hours, in case you missed it. Kind of cooled things down. It was very comfortable evening. And now the story this week is going to be the wind. Unfortunately, quite a bit of it. However, once we get to the weekend, a ridge of high pressure is going to strengthen and move right through our area, which means we're going to be nice and warm, but not too hot. No red flag warning today, although it's going to be plenty windy. They may issue that. I don't think it's going to be warm enough for a red flag warning. Clouds this morning, sunshine is for the afternoon hours. We'll get up to about 82. It's going to be breezy today. We'll have a northwest wind at about 11 to 20 miles an hour, gusts pushing at 30. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, stronger winds in those places that are prone to stronger winds. Partly cloudy tonight, 59 for the overnight low. It's going to be breezy tonight, eventually decreasing after midnight down to about nothing. Tuesday, not a lot of wind to talk about. Still below normal. Our normal high is 82. We'll get up to 79, but just a little bit of wind on Tuesday. Then the wind returns on Tuesday night. I'm detecting a pattern here. We'll have clear skies. We'll get down to 56, but it's going to be breezy on Tuesday night. Sustained winds at about 20 miles an hour, gusts above 30 on Tuesday night. Then it happens again on Wednesday. Very little wind to speak of. Below normal temperature, high of 78, and then the breezes return on Wednesday night with an overnight low of about 54. Thursday, lots of sunshine. Again, not a lot of wind, and a high of about 80, and then one last little wind event On Thursday night, we're going to call it breezy. We'll get down to 54 for the overnight low, and then into the weekend. Friday, which means we ain't going to be here. We have Friday off for the holiday. As we get going for America's birthday, sunshine and a high of 83. That sounds just about right. On Saturday, lots of sunshine, very little wind as of now, and a high of 87. I like that. Provided this show isn't canceled, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.